Hello people, you are listening to Duel of the Mates podcast, episode 2. In these episodes we're going to be speaking about topics just slightly more in depth than we do in the other episodes. I am joined here with my co-hosts, Jay.
Wagwan.
Hey.
What up?
And one of the best producers in the world, Grey Matter.
Hello again.
Big up, Grey Matter. Just got to shout out there. You done bear for us lately. Very, very, very appreciative.
And on that note, cue the theme song.
So I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that's been following our channel and listening to our content. It means the world to us. As always, feedback is golden. In this episode, we're going to start by talking about some games, some of the best games of all time.
Yeah, we thought we've jotted down just a few ideas and whatnot, just stuff that we want to get into with them, because especially nowadays with the kind of video game boom, we kind of just come out of it, but it's still going ever. Even like the movies, video game adaptation movies are doing well now. So yeah, we just want to, we've all grown up on video games since what, the 90s. Even though Tate was saying his first console was the Wii, which is no judgment. It's just
brilliant console.
A fine console to start on, I would say.
Yeah, it's just, that was a late
Wii Sports, legendary game.
One of the
Absolutely
best games
legendary.
What are you saying about the baseball, mate?
Baseball. No, it was boxing for me, bro.
Tennis, bro.
The bowling was big up and the tennis was hilarious.
Bowling as well.
When I was at uni, I played a game of bowling against Kay, and I got almost a perfect game, apart from one round where I got a 9 spare.
That's kind of nerdy, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I did spend about 2 weeks trying to get the perfect game on Wii bowling.
You were there in your bowling shirt, your glove.
Yeah,
Big Lebowski vibes.
You know, tennis as well. Wii tennis was a banging game.
Wii tennis was the best one.
I got in the zone with that.
if you can get the crazy serve that speeds the ball,
and that is 100% why they put the wrists, wristbands on it, so you didn't yeet the controller across the room.
Do you remember the news when the first month of the Wii come out? There were just so many photos in newspapers or on actual TV of controllers inside TVs.
Yeah, in TVs.
It was the first time, not the first time you had video games like that, but the first time it actually worked properly. So there were just so many people having them.
Yeah, we went through so many. We had to get rubber cases for each of the controllers.
Oh, did you actually smash them up?
Yeah, well, not at the TV, but
first week I went a bit mental and the strap broke, and that was the controller straight in the bin.
Strap broke. Oh my god.
Yeah, some vigorous Wii Sporting, I tell you.
Yeah, I don't want a 1v1 anymore. That's intense.
I'm actually still using our Nintendo Wii. Luckily, we got 3 of them, and we use them for Guitar Hero, which I brought around when I moved into this house. I brought the Guitar Hero on the Wii. It was I've been smashing this out, Metallica style, all this. I got humbled so fucking hard when I gave it to other people. They're all doing expert and hard on all these things. It is so much fun. It's so much fun.
I used to play Rock Band when I was younger.
Yeah.
Where we all had one person was singing, one person was
the actual guitar.
Yeah, it's got the guitar with the little with the buttons on the end.
They're in a sequence of a 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom, instead of our Guitar Hero 5 in a row.
But the drums on that was just simply amazing. It was one of the best.
Mic quality really good as well. I remember my mate Reese used to do Linkin Park, and he could reach some good notes on that bloody mic.
You could just cheat the system and hum the tune into the mic, and you get a perfect score as well.
Oh, that's all about screaming at the loudest into the mic.
Did you ever play I don't know if you only did it in arcades, but did you ever have at home on PlayStation 2? Was it Just Dance or Dance Mat or whatever that was?
I had Just Dance. I had Just Dance 2. There was this one really cool African tune.
I can just picture you jamming to that.
I can't even remember it anymore, but I spent more weeks trying to learn it to perfect it as well.
You do it with your eyes closed. Do it backwards.
I can't even remember it. I must have been 9.
I played the arcade version. If you go,
I was going to say that's the only one.
I'm so happy that gives you bars. You hold on to them and just spray your feet.
I thought you were talking about Dance Dance Revolution, bro.
I think it was.
That's the one that came out of Star Wars.
Yeah.
What's that Star Wars one that was on Wii?
I don't know
about that one.
I'm just Solo, but it's Han Solo. Nope, all looking at me like that. Never mind.
Oh my god, I'm a Star Wars nerd and I'm shook. I don't even know what this is.
I'm surprised. It was terrible game. But yeah, Wii was sick. I was gonna ask, have any of you played? So you see how we said about Wii Sports on the original Nintendo Wii. You've got the Nintendo Switch. Did any of you play? I think it's like Wii Resorts or something like that. It's basically like Wii Sports.
Yeah, the ping pong on there is a bad man game.
Yeah, and they got badminton. They got dueling and everything.
Is this on the Switch?
Yeah, this is on the Switch.
Yeah, I haven't got a Switch.
Frisbee golf was gas as well. You ever played
I don't even know if I did frisbee golf, not golf. Nah.
I played Mario and Sonic at the Olympics, and they had like the ping pong, the fencing and stuff on there. That was an awesome game.
That was a banger game.
What's everyone's opinions on Switch 2? You want?
I haven't. I know a couple of people that have tried it. One of my mates has one. She's not too big into consoles, but she has a Switch and she loves that. And she said she does love this. She didn't get to try it. That has a mouse feature. If you put
what are the big differences?
Obviously, graphics, screen, power. I know the controller becomes a mouse, so you can like use that for internet, and I think you can do some like online internet gaming type thing, but I'm not too sure. I don't really look at Nintendo.
I haven't been following it too much, to be fair. I did hear in like the first week though there was like loads of recalls because of the battery life on it was just abysmal.
They also are outsold. So this Nintendo Switch 2 outsold any previous console that Nintendo have done. So and then
including the DS, like
including all their consoles, it did the most. And then there were some recalls, and also I think a batch of like 250,000 consoles got nicked as well.
Oh really?
Yeah, I didn't read too much into it because I was like scrolling, but you know, they still got the P's, so you know it's all good.
Yeah. What was your first console?
Ooh, my first one that I personally owned would have been I think I got a PlayStation 2 and then I got like GameCube and all that. So I think PS2 was the first one I personally owned, but I did start on PlayStation 1. Like my stepdad was playing that all the time. GTA, Toy Soldiers, Tomb Raider, all them things there.
The Nintendo 64 was the first one I was probably playing because of my brother. Like
that controller's so weird.
Yeah, but it was some of the best games on there, like for racing, F-Zero X.
Thank you. I was literally just about to say to you, what was that game with Captain Falcon and all that?
Yeah, F-Zero X, Star Fox. Star Fox was an amazing game. Then you had like Mario, of course.
Yeah.
Like, you had Duck Hunt as well. Do you remember Duck Hunt?
Yeah, you get my Smash Bros.
Yeah, this is it. You got the gun and you actually had to aim it at the TV. For that time was amazing.
Responsive as well. So Lewis, what was your first console?
First one that I personally owned?
That you personally owned, and then say what one you did first play or whatnot.
The first console I ever played on was a PS2. No, PS1.
Oh yeah,
PS2?
also good. Yeah.
PS2, I believe.
Yeah.
The first console I ever owned personally that I bought was a PS4.
Is it not even like an Xbox 360?
No.
You're just a straight PS guy. That's fine. I say it like that was like I meant that in an offensive way. I kind of do.
What do you mean? See, I started on Xbox. I had a 360 to begin with.
360
so
online.
I've experienced them both. Yes, Xbox Live and like the games you can get on Xbox. I wish I could have played Forza. Okay, but the sacrifice is worth it because I went from 360 to a PS4. I think a PS4 is just hands down better. And then you get to PS5 versus Xbox Series X. And that's a no-brainer, bro. The PS5 is streets ahead.
Do we know anyone who owns an Xbox Series X?
I did know a couple of people. They did know
past tense. They got one and was like, I don't want to.
No longer friends with them.
See, I've never owned either of them, to be honest with you. As soon as I got my Oculus Quest, that was it. I stopped buying consoles.
Shout out to VR. There we go.
That was literally a game changer. It's some of the best times I've ever had playing a game on that.
See,
VR, so surreal.
I think VR is so cool, but I actually can't deal with it for more than like half an hour. And then
I would say you need to go to like VR. Home VR is a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, it's great. But honestly, if you want the proper immersive experience, you need to go to one of them venues that do proper VR
with the, like treadmills and
all that stuff as well. Because honestly, it is a type of playing where you forget. Like the amount of actual walls I ran into because I was in like this cylinder thing because I kept forgetting that I'm inside this tube. So I would dart for something and boom, next thing I'm smacking my head and all this.
And this is the thing, even the graphics can be like quite cartoony, but you do lose yourself. Like
so immersive,
it's not real, but you have panic and adrenaline and stuff from some of these games you're playing. It's literally next level version of playing games.
I can't even lie. One of the best games I've played on VR, it was on the PlayStation VR, just sitting in my old bedroom, was a Spider-Man game. The graphics were PS1 type graphics, but after a while, once your brain like attunes to it, you forget. And I was just web slinging through New York. Yeah, bro, it was mad. I had to keep up sequences, do little tricks and all this. The graphics were terrible, but your brain, just like with anything, your brain will fill in the gaps for you and kind of bring you into that more of immersive world. It is VR. You can't knock it till you try it.
It's the future of like gaming.
100%.
Eventually, that's going to be the only thing.
And yeah, relating to that point, Jaden, as well, I think one of the like best like potentials that VR has is being able to watch films like in a in whatever setting you want. You know, it's the same with the Apple Vision. You can like watch films, and you can either be like kind of sitting in a cinema, or you can just have the screen playing and make it as big as you want. So you like once you're actually in there, you can make it, I don't know, hundreds of meters wide, way better than any Odeon.
Wasn't it you, Dan, saying that you had a bunch of kids in there while you was like trying to watch
That's
a movie?
like an app. So people host like live rooms and stuff and play from their computer. They stream whatever they're watching on their computer in there. And of course, you can have an open lobby where you get like 5-year-olds running in and just squeaking in the background. But the best one, I joined this private lobby, and he was playing Predator, the original Predator in 3D. Yeah. And that's an experience I never thought
I didn't even think of it like that.
Great, so you can virtually go to the cinema and be annoyed by a load of loud...
That's exactly what I thought when you said it. It's mad though. You look around you, generally in a cinema. You look behind you, there's a projector there and all this stuff.
Yeah, I did go for a phase when my brother has a PS VR, and I went for a phase of just sitting in my front room with the VR connected to the PlayStation, and then just sitting in the dark with the VR on. My mum would turn the light on. She'd be like, "What are you doing?" You just kind of just sitting there in the dark with this thing on your head.
See, with the Oculus as well, you can link it up to like your Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney and that, and you can just sit in a big cinema on your own watching whatever content you want, and it's mad. Like,
yeah,
very worth the investment.
That's going places.
There's always other purposes as well, you know.
But my brain went there, but I ain't saying it on the podcast.
One other thing, moving it swiftly on, that I want to talk about is arcade games. Does anyone even remember what the first arcade game there was? Or if not, what's your favourite arcade game?
I generally do remember my first arcade game. I don't even remember what arcade it was in, but my mum's a big Street Fighter and like Tekken person. So I don't even know if it would have been around Feltham or something. I don't know, somewhere. We used to go to an arcade and they had an actual Street Fighter 2 arcade fighting machine. That was my first ever experience with Street Fighter 2. So even like I don't play Street Fighter that much anymore, that's why that game always is cemented as one of my favorite, because I got to play it raw properly as like how it was, and I do think that was my first one.
See, I can't remember the first one I ever played in an arcade, but Time Crisis was my all-time favourite game in an arcade. You know, that has been on for years, and it's just so good. Although it's a money drainer, you get 3 lives.
Going to an arcade is a money drainer. I'm not gonna lie.
When I went to an arcade, I didn't really focus on the games that much. I don't know. I just
what were you doing in an arcade?
I don't know, I was always in it for the slots, you know.
Oh, you just starting them off young.
Getting the gambling early, yeah.
Paddy Power
like
type thing.
Every time I'd go to the seaside and we'd go to the arcade or something, we'd always take like a big bag of change with us and just try like, I don't know, win like some...
With another 10p.
Yeah.
But you don't get the tickets from stuff like that usually, I swear.
Yeah.
Like the reason I would go to arcades is to get the ridiculous and really inexpensive toys that you spend loads of tickets.
Bro, one of our local arcades, there's a beautiful Transformers mug in there. I want it so bad. It's 20 quid online, and I was talking to one of the people who work behind the bar, how long they think it would get me to get it, and they're like, yeah dude, you're gonna be spending like 120 quid. So I was like,
the markup's not so good, but
it's like $1.5 million tickets to get a mug, like.
And he's a friend of a friend that works there, and I was with that friend as well. We were trying to convince him, like, yo, come on, you know. He's like, no, couldn't do it. And he was generally like, do not even attempt to waste your money on that, because trust me, it's been sitting there for like 4 years and no one's won it.
I want to shout out all the racing games that you get at arcades. Like
motorbike games or car games you're more interested in?
Well, both, to be fair. I like the simulation of motorbike games when you're like actually sitting on a motorbike. You get to lean in.
That's awesome.
But the car games where you've got, even like Mario Kart, when you play it at an arcade, you know, and you've actually got the steering wheel, got the pedals, like, that's what I like. That's what I support.
But saying Mario Kart arcade games in Central, it's next to the London Eye. And
you're talking about the Namco arcade?
Yeah, the one that's like underground and whatnot.
In
there, they've got a Mario Kart section where there's like 4 Mario Karts that you sit into, like a jet,
but they're all next to each other, so you can all play.
A jet simulator though, so it moves side to side, does all this, but you put a VR headset on and then you go into the game, and then it's you 4 racing each other and racing what they call bots and all that as well, which looks cool. And there's also a live Mario Kart thing where they project the track onto the floor.
They actually get Mario there.
Yahoo!
I've never heard of that arcade before. Like the one,
That one, but I didn't think it was there
never
until
even knew
someone
that was
showed
there.
me.
Namco's cool.
The one I
It's like
remember
Chocodero as well,
distinctly
got
was the
arcades.
Chocodero, which
Yeah,
is literally what I was going to say. That was my first proper arcade. It's like 8 floors or something ridiculous, wasn't
But I
it?
think
There's
they got
bumper cars on one
had
floor,
little
for God's
skate
sake.
park
It was
underneath as well.
mad.
It was mad.
That's what I had.
Yeah, it was sick. Bare graffiti, bare neon lights, proper like a Batman Forever type skate park. But it's like Camden as well. They've got that underground arcade there too, which has now become a big thing. And I can't even lie, if it went for like TikTok or Instagram or whatnot, I wouldn't have. I've gone past it so many times.
Didn't realise there was such an underground arcade scene.
They've got a
Gotta look hard for them.
little. I hope it's legal. I'm gonna say it either way, but somewhere in Camden, underneath one of the shops, there's a little shooting range as well. And
What, like air
there's only
rifle
two
things?
teams.
no, but that's
or-
I don't know. I think it's like air rifle or whatnot. But I remember them being so hush about it, and they weren't letting us. They didn't.
You can,
They were like, "Oh, we don't
with the
know
right
you."
license, shoot
Air
shotguns
rifles.
and
Yeah.
well, air rifles and 2.2s.
But underneath the high street or whatnot, innit?
I've never heard of the place, bro.
It's not too far from Underworld.
probably
You
don't
bust a
publicise it
right
too much.
going towards KFC. It's somewhere there.
Very hush hush of you.
Yeah, very hush hush. Look,
If
they
you
didn't let me do it, so.
Although going back to arcade games, another like style that I really like is the kind of like wild buck hunter ones, you know, or the ones where you actually get a gun and there's usually 2 of them, so you can 1v1 with
Have
someone.
you ever done something like that? Like, is it clay plates?
Clay pigeons,
Clay
yeah.
pigeons. You ever done that? Like, actually done it?
I have done that, yeah.
Okay. You do bare things, bro.
Bear things, yeah. Bear things. Be explained in a later episode.
Big up Buck Hunter, bro. That was an elite game. Still is. It's an
Yeah.
elite game. Like, you get a shotgun, pump action shotgun. You've got to shoot all the deer in it without the horns and stuff. Mad score's been set on that.
Oh, Hunting Simulator has just been added to PS Plus as well.
As in hunting, like, wildlife.
Yeah.
I don't get them ones. It's like truck simulator, farm simulator.
Bro, I'm such a bang out for them games.
Fucking car wash simulator, jet wash.
I've got
Goat Simulator. What's
currently
going
have
on?
Train Simulator 5 on my PlayStation at the
Train
moment.
simulator. See,
Yeah.
trains.
Why has nobody mentioned flight simulation? Like flight
That's just a
simulator's
whole other level of game.
I did
though,
play.
think.
The only flight simulation type of game I played was the Star Wars Squadron, and then something Ace One Pilots or whatever it's called. Very, very good. Both of them responsive. You actually feel like, and their VR was doing as well. You actually feel like you're a jet pilot, bro.
You ever play War Thunder?
With the planes and all that, and then you got the tanks and you got the boats.
I haven't
and all
played
that.
it myself, but it's just more...
you always get the
it's-
mobile ads type things. From it.
Yeah.
I downloaded it because they had a collaboration with like Marvel or something. I could get like an Iron Man plane, so I was like, yeah, cool. Did it. Never went back to it, but I do love them type of games.
A game I haven't seen in an arcade for years now, and it is an old game. Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
I don't think I've ever seen them in an arcade.
Oh, they used to have one in Feltham, I'm pretty sure.
Is it?
Yeah, many moons
I can't
ago
even-
now, though. But that is one of the best
I don't
arcade
even
games.
remember Feltham Arcade back in the day too much. I remember they had laser tag though. Like laser tag was
It
sick.
is still there, by the way.
The laser tag?
Yeah.
No, it's not. I promise you, it's not.
Is this?
I've been in that arcade this year.
Okay. It's
Laser
not
tag's
still there.
No. They got like a jungle gym, some slot machines, some few racing
On the
games, a
floor
Halo
plan,
game,
written, please.
fucking Connect 4 with a basketball, which is sick, and then it's just bowling and a bar and some mad ass weird jungle gym.
Yeah. Another thing as well, you don't have to
And
wear
then
bowling shoes anymore.
I'm so gassed about that.
Me too.
Do you remember where you used to have to go to the
Clown
bowling
bloody
alley
shoes,
and you'd have to
spray them and all these things.
Yeah. What size are you?
And then get them bloody
And they were like
socks and all them.
they were the most slippery shoes. You know, there was 100%
Yeah.
more grip on the shoes that I brought. Like I'm not sure why they were giving them to us, but
And I don't really want to be wearing shoes that have been worn by like 100 people
That's what I'm
in a
saying.
day.
And it was always to stop like verrucas and all that.
Was that a pre-COVID thing? That must have
was-
been.
Oh, that was way pre-COVID. That was a traditional thing from back before, probably before we were born and that, before the 90s. No, traditional,
Always got to wear the bowling
Yeah.
shoes to bowl, innit?
actual proper thing. And they were. I forgot how slippery they were, but I'm just remembering all the.
lethal.
Yeah.
Lethal.
I reckon you could pull them off on a regular. You know, I was saying that to Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon you could.
I got a few fits. They could
Yeah,
go
you
with.
could, and you could pull them off quite nicely.
Yeah.
My guy's got. I don't want to say swag but he's got swag. yeah, he's throwing up the gun fingers. You can't see it, but he's guessed. But
Man, what a tangent. Another tangent. Should we bring it back to games?
yeah, it's way about to go. Oh, actually, can I just quickly say it's
go
still
on,
no, still
go
saying
on.
they're games, but
Yeah.
fashion games. And all that. Do you remember like the old computers and all that, pushing back, like Habbo and
Habbo
Newgrounds
Hotel
and
you
stuff
talking
like that,
about,
making like
yeah.
outfits for like
No, I was a
characters.
bin weevils man myself.
I don't even know what's bin weevils.
You don't know about bin weevils?
I don't know about that
What's
either.
bin
Do you know about bin
weevils?
weevils?
I'm aware of bin weevils. I was more Club Penguin back that time.
It was
Club Penguin as well.
It was kind of like a club.
Bin weevils. I've never.
I
Heard
swear
of
they
them.
were like a toy as well.
No idea.
Like get a bin weevil.
I don't know.
I know, it's pushing my memory a little bit.
Give us a
Do you ever play Club Penguin?
yeah. Club Penguin.
So it was kind of like
I haven't even played that, Jay.
You haven't played Club Penguin?
Bro, Club Penguin
Bro.
is in time with all of us.
I'm not gonna lie, Dan, you have not lived. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's Habbo
You have
Hotel,
not
but a bit
lived.
better.
I had all the puffles, bro.
Bro, okay.
Is that from Bin? What was it? Bin?
Nah,
I was gonna say
that's
Bin
from
Juice.
Club Penguin, bro.
Is it? I don't remember.
I'll get to Bin Weevil. Bin Weevil is like Club Penguin, but instead of you being a penguin, you're a weevil.
A bin weevil?
Yeah.
A bin weevil, and you're just like this little like bug that kind of goes around, and
It's
you're bugging a life.
it's you've seen this is to Dan. You've played Sims and all. You know what Sims
Yeah,
is about.
yeah.
Club
That and
Penguin-
Habbo Hotel.
Yeah.
Habbo Hotel was
Club
like the
Penguin
furthest
is
one I got on.
basically, which Habbo Hotel is basically Sims as well. They're all adjacent to that. It looks a bit more kid friendly, but it's just
But the
exact
mini
same.
games, the little surfing
Mini games are
game
sick.
and the scuba
Oh,
one as well.
the way people will get
Mine
rude to
the
each
mine
other.
cave that like railcart one, yeah.
Yeah.
People will get robbed. It's like RuneScape. You have people like stealing people's account and then selling them on like the black market and all this type of things.
That's extreme,
It
bro.
was so bad. It got banned. at one
RuneScape
point as well.
was,
It did, yeah.
UK.
It had to change. I don't even know, change owners or something.
I can't even like all that type of online gaming has kind of taken like a back seat now because obviously we have the more modern online gaming. But yeah, PC gaming and just community online gaming back in the day
Warcraft's
was
still going
different,
strong,
man.
though,
Yeah,
like-
Warcraft's like that's never gonna die down.
To be fair, that does bring us to the ultimate debate as well: is PC versus console. What do you prefer? Because I started on PC. Sorry,
I will 100%. I'm a console guy, but I'm not gonna sit there and say that console is better than PC because it's not.
This is exactly my
PC's way
point.
better.
On PC, you can get a single player game and mod it up to be a different game if you wanted to.
They got
So
Steam, they got everything. They got the mouse, you got your keyboard. It's a bit of a learning curve, but it is way more better. Yes, console still can't keep up because there's some people who are the best players in the world and they're doing that on PS4s, like still, you know. But
Reaction times are also faster on a keyboard as well. Opposed
yeah, and
to,
keyboard shortcuts as well. When I played Call of Duty, I think it was Black Ops 2. I used to like mod the keyboard, so instead of having to like spin the mouse really quickly, you just press a button and it would kind of spin you for triggers and
180
stuff.
type thing.
Yeah, 180, bro.
See, back in the day of League of Legends, I was banging that out on a laptop with
You say League of Legends?
League of Legends,
Oh, you're
yeah.
a
I was
League
playing that on a laptop with the touchpad and the
but
keyboard in
that's
front,
psycho
and I was
crazy.
destroying people. Like,
Another one, Minecraft, you can only play on a like PC. I mean, obviously you can play it on other stuff, but
it
it's
just
just
doesn't have the
disrespect.
same
right?
feel.
It's
on
just
a
not the
console,
same. You
does
cannot
it?
do it on an
Yeah.
Xbox
And also,
or PlayStation.
Bedrock version, which is the console version, it's just trash.
There was some shooting games like Marvel Rivals that just come out. I played it on computer. Played it on console. I was like, yeah, cool. Finally got my PC started. Played it on there. Bruv, it's so different. It's so much better. It's more fluid.
Is that any good?
Marvel Rivals slaps.
I really
I'm not
wanna
even
play
an
that.
Overwatch fan, and Overwatch is still quite good. But Marvel Rivals kind of took what they took everything that went from Overwatch 1 and what they should have done for Overwatch 2 and kind of went, yeah, well, here we go. We'll use Marvel skins and not even just use that IP, actually do a good game.
I think I had Overwatch 2 installed for about
It's fun.
an hour.
If you got people to
Before
play
getting
with,
bored of it.
especially, like I knew a couple of people that were very, very good at the game and like got a lot of respect for people in the game. One of them was slapped on PC as well. Like she built up to diamond and platinum. Well, I think it was diamond, platinum, and then like master or whatnot. Like she got very, very bloody good at it. And yeah, you don't know intense gameplay till you play with people who play like Overwatch, like strategy games like that as well, where you know you got to be, if one person is fucking up, you can bring down the whole team and they will let you know.
Them games are so community based as well,
Yeah.
right? Because obviously
Yeah.
there's got to be some sort of coherence and strategy.
Yeah, and a
for
lot more
each of the
competitive
different-
as well. I think like that reminds me of CS:GO, not in the like gameplay style, but in just the fact that it's like
CS:GO,
so
Counter-Strike.
seriously taken.
What's your CS:GO?
Huh?
What's CS:GO?
Yeah, Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike, okay,
yeah.
yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, where I don't know, it's just a lot more competitive and a lot more of a high standard. If you're good on a PC, you need to be good. You know, you need to be.
That's also like I want to bring it back to Xbox real quick. Playing Halo Infinite on the Xbox One was horrendous because you just get murked. And then I went around my mate's house. They had the Xbox Series X or whatever it is, and I played Halo Infinite, and the difference in just gameplay was insane. So with like what's it, PC and all that, you do get more of a powerful system, so you can. It's miles ahead of anything else. You know what I mean? That makes sense.
It's like Call of Duty League play as well. If you play in the leagues category as opposed to just multiplayer, like the standard just goes up so much it can trickle your heart rate.
Crossplay off.
Crossplay. I thought you said cosplay.
That's another thing as well. Do you remember when
cross-platform playing was not a thing?
Yeah. Do you remember two things? They're unrelated, but they are. One, do you remember crossplay wasn't a thing? And everyone was like, "Oh yeah, can't wait till the day until PlayStation."
Now we all turn it
and Xbox
is compatible
and PC
with
and everything.
Xbox. Another thing, which I thought was monumental. Do you remember when McDonald's didn't do fucking delivery, bro? Do you remember them days?
Just as I inhaled as well. What?
Do you remember them days where it's like, oh, imagine if McDonald's did delivery, and then all of a sudden one day it became a thing, and then every restaurant.
I can't even lie, I don't really remember McDonald's not having delivery. That's how you still got into it, but yeah,
it's second nature now. There's a whole generation of kids that are just never gonna understand fast food without delivery.
But that's a whole generation.
You've got to go to the boss man shop and get your chicken now.
There's a whole generation of kids though that don't know about VHS or DVD or having to get up because the 4 episodes on your DVD have finished. Now you got to go put another one in so you can have the next 4.
Or having dial-up connection, bro.
Or dial-up connection. Or being on with the phone and then your mum picking up on the other end and being like, it's time to hang up.
No, I'm talking about games and stuff where if your parents wanted to make a phone call, it'd like, interrupt your game, bro, and that's it. GG, like.
Having to phone a brother to go on the internet is past before my time, I'm afraid.
But you lot missing out, bro. I used to have to run around the house and knock on the door and be like, yo, can so and so
obviously I grew up with that.
No, I mean, can so and so jump online? It's just because I had no way of contacting them. So I'm like, yo, I need it. You know, you're letting the boys down. Pigeons. Nah, bro, I'm too slow back there. I don't answer my phone now, but back in the day, I was on point. Right there, the pigeon take too long.
I need to see some evidence of that, I'm afraid.
There ain't no evidence.
Yeah, that's
because it's still a lie. even on MSN.
MSN days.
Dreadful.
Do you think that the hyper communication of today, the pros outweigh the cons? Like, do you reckon we're too...
Of everyone being...
do you reckon we're too communicative these days?
Only because of social media and all that stuff. With being able to contact with text and like Facebook and blah, blah, WhatsApp, that's a good side of it because you can keep in touch with people across the world that you didn't know you could. The only thing is, everyone uploads everything, blah, blah, blah. In that way, we're too connected. There's not always... I can meet someone sometimes, but oh yeah, you do this, so and so, and this. Oh, you did this yesterday, without them even telling me their name.
I think the thing is because we're so inclined to constantly message people these days, it kind of takes away the value of seeing someone sometimes.
That's one thing. Us lot do it.
But I think it's
we're like quick phone call and then we'll link up like easy.
I think it's quite important to like. It kind of depends. It's important who the person is that you're talking about because some people like will treat their phones as though it doesn't exist for a lot of the time, and I'm not even talking about us. I'm just like you three.
I felt personally attacked.
We are useless on our phones. I'm useless on my phone.
Yeah, I never thought I'd meet anyone as bad as me, but you and Elliot, God.
Yeah, Jay, you made me feel a lot better. That feeling was mutual, big man. But yeah, like I don't know. My dad, for example, puts his phone on charge every time he goes to bed and leaves it out of his room, and I can't think of anyone my age who doesn't have their phone right next to them when they sleep. And similarly, if you have it on Do Not Disturb, which I do with my phone quite a lot, it's just like so much less stressful than it needs to be.
Mine's just on.
Because I do think people use their phones way too much.
Yeah. I have mine in my backpack sometimes. Just there. I forget about it. Probably shouldn't say that on live, but yeah. Sometimes it's just, I just don't like, I can't, everything to me when it comes to phones, I don't know what it is. It's not small talk, but texting is just small talk to me, if you know what I mean. It's like, what's it, Samuel L. Jackson's character in The Boondock said, nothing important has ever been said over the phone with someone's thumbs. It's just bullshit, you know? And also, tones can never be ridden, so...
Yeah, and I think there are massive benefits to it as well, you know? There's a lot of content that wouldn't have been either possible or available, like, not even that long ago. So there are huge benefits to it, but as I say, it's...
Also a massive distraction.
Too much these days. But
there's one thing it really did fuck up and ruin the world for... If there's something you want to watch or listen to or see or read, bro, 5 minutes after it being released, it's everywhere. So you can't, at that point, that's a bit too much information. Everyone's just shouting at you for something you're already waiting to see, but you're already getting spoiled for it. In parts like that, I do think it's, or people get their opinion. I don't know, people get their opinion about something, and that becomes the opinion about something certain. I don't know. In that, I'm thinking like with the Acolyte, that's part of to blame.
That was literally just what I was going to say. Every time, not with Acolyte specifically, but anytime there's a Star Wars TV show or film or whatever coming out, I literally have like a social media cleanse. I go straight off Instagram because my feed is entirely Star Wars stuff, and it's going to be spoilers. So
this is what I was saying to you yesterday, Lewis, about when Superman comes out. I need to see the midnight release, or I need to see the earliest viewing on the day, because I don't use my phone. But if I go on my phone, if I go on YouTube, anything, or I speak to some of my friends, I'm hearing something about it. So like I need to jump straight into that kind of thing. We haven't said anything about Call of Duty. One of the biggest games out there, and also one of the biggest games that, same with like FIFA and all that, just does a yearly thing and does not switch it up in the slightest, because they know they don't have to. And we're all COD players here. Come on.
Absolutely.
I used to be.
But I mean, in general, yeah.
That franchise was the franchise that got me into gaming.
Well, when did you start on? COD, for people that don't know, they should know. But it's Call of Duty, that game series.
Modern Warfare 2. The original Modern Warfare 2, 2009.
White background, greyish soldier, green writing in it. So I'm just thinking of the poster.
Yeah,
it is. I have the poster of.
I'll take your word for it. But yeah, I just thought that was one of the first games that kind of unlocked online multiplayer for me, because
COD lobbies back in the day. If you didn't have thick skin, you're done.
And also, do you remember like Black Ops 2 emblems as well? You
can make your emblem.
Yeah. You mentioned Black Ops 2. That was the one that got me properly into like the Call of Duty series, and especially the Black Ops series. I played it on PC originally, and that was the one where I had all the like modded keyboard stuff for.
Which one?
Black Ops 2.
Okay.
Black Ops 2. It was the first one that I properly like banged out. I played a lot of time on that game. And because of that, all of the Black Ops series, I just love. Cold War, I have probably got the most hours on now, which I know a lot of people are going to hate on, but I think Cold War is a brilliant game. I think it's great.
And a banging story as well. The way they did the story differently, where you got to pick kind of your way through it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was the first one released on PS5, like after the PS5 came out, and the graphics comparison from PS4 to 5 was just insane.
It still hold up as well. I played that game last year for like the first time, and it's really, really
The first Call of Duty that I thought, whoa, these are crazy graphics, was Advanced Warfare.
Really?
Which one's
just the campaign? The campaign. It's the
mechanics of that game.
With Jon Snow?
It's the one with Kevin Spacey.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember the adverts.
Just because I think it was one of the first ones where they motion captured actors into the story, and for me, I just never really knew that was a thing before. So when I first saw it, I was like, oh,
and it was quite different for the Call of Duty franchise at the time, because most of the stuff before, with the possible exception of like Ghosts, but even Ghosts, they were all like realistic. There was like a lot of it wasn't too far fetched, and this was a lot more dystopian and like futuristic.
Do you play Call of Duty more for the story or for the online play, or do you go on for the online play? But you really do care. But do you care about the story?
I don't think I've ever completed story mode on Call of Duty. I literally just go straight into online.
Whenever I get a new Call of Duty, I play the campaign once.
Yeah.
Apart from the original Modern Warfare 2 one, I've played that one about 1 trillion times.
Is that the one with No Russia?
Yeah.
But yeah, Lewis, I'm the exact same as you. I will download the game, I'll play the campaign, and usually enjoy it. There's a couple that I didn't, but most of them are decent. And then I would only play it once, and from that point onwards, the multiplayer grind begins.
Which was the one with the airport scene?
Yeah, that was Modern Warfare 2.
That was Modern
Warfare, whatever it's called.
Yeah, and I was only 7 when that game came out.
We're gonna explain that level real quick for people that don't know. This is what Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah,
you're doing this. You're doing your campaign, so you're on like mission 5 or whatnot, and you're in an elevator. You hear some people talking. Ding! The elevator door opens. You walk out into an airport lobby, and
this is post 9/11 as well, by the way.
Yeah, this is after 9/11. Yeah, you just spray down everybody.
It is a good mission.
It's the best mission in the game.
It's such a twist at the end as well.
Like, don't get me wrong, no one should ever do that. It's horrible, something like that happening. And in a game, it doesn't influence people to do stupid shit. That person's already stupid. But this mission is so much fun. I replayed that game just to get to that mission, did it, and I haven't gone back. Like, it was just for that mission. It
was plastered everywhere on the news and everything. Like, everyone having big arguments.
I wouldn't want my 7-year-old playing it. I can't lie with that. Even though I, as a kid, I would love to play it. 7-year-old being an adult, I'll be like, nah, maybe not. Or maybe sit on my lap, give them a fake controller, and I'll do it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't allowed to play like 18 rated games for quite a while, and then I could play them before I was 18, but only
In the UK, 18 or was it 15?
Most of them are 18.
Is it 18? Okay.
Especially back then, because I remember Black Ops Declassified, which was on PS Vita or PSP. It was like a handheld PlayStation console, but that was a 16 rated, so I could play that a little bit earlier, which was a vibe. Well, not the best COD, but
talking of handheld consoles, any of you lot play? Well, I guess you play the PS Vita or PSP. Any of you lot play PlayStation PSP, PlayStation Portable, and then PlayStation Portable Vita?
I played the first one for a bit. Me and my brother shared one for a while, so it was literally Tekken and God of War that we were playing.
Yeah, that's why I played God of War on. It had little discs for DVDs and all this stuff.
I've got a little red one in my room somewhere, but I haven't used it in ages.
I think the first time I actually watched Alien, the first movie, was on my PSP. I bought it from
sitting there in the corner.
I had to have it right in front of my face because you couldn't see a thing. There was no sound. It was, you get that screen glare, you're done. Good experience from memory.
Yeah. For me, most played game on a PS Vita or like PlayStation Portable was, in fact, it was on the Vita. It was Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Oh my god! I'm not sure if it was the first, but you could get the Bugatti Veyron in that, and oh my goodness! As soon as I got that car, the amount of hours.
Which one did you say was Most Wanted?
Most Wanted. Yeah. You could get it on console as well, but oh my goodness!
That's with the poster. It was like a brownish poster, blue and silver car, and then 2 police cars like behind them.
I think that's Rivals. Or
I don't even know. I've heard of Rivals.
It's the one with the Rivals. It's like white, red, and black. The poster for it. But yeah, brilliant game.
Bringing it back to FPSs, do you lot play any other apart from Call of Duty? Because I'm really enjoying Battlefield at the moment.
I was going to bring up Battlefield. Ask about that. Well, at the moment, Battle Royale games are quite big, so I've been playing it. I don't really play Apex too much anymore, but I have recently, thanks to Madison Beer, gotten into Fortnite. Zero build, but I love running around. I'm running around as Ang, the most pacifist guy ever, but I've got a scar in my hand just shooting down 11-year-olds, just,
ruining their afternoon.
Yeah. Touch some fucking grass. Just
the first FPS
coming from you, brother. Go touch some grass yourself.
Yeah, the first FPS I played was like Medal of Honor Airborne, and that was back in the day of the big computers. You have a big tower block and a TV that weighed about 10 stone, Like,
is Medal of Honor still a thing? I actually forgot about that.
Yeah,
and that was proper PC type of
it was Call of Duty before Call of Duty. Everyone was on that.
I had Medal of Honor on the Wii.
Is it?
Yeah, you had like a little gun attachment.
I forgot about that.
I remember those, the little like gun attachment you could put the nunchuck and the controller in. They were cool.
The good times.
You could get a steering wheel as well, going back to Wii's. You could get like a steering wheel to put it in the middle and then...
You get a tennis racket and stuff for the sports.
You get a tennis racket?
Yeah, you can get everything. You get a pump shotgun, you can get everything on for the Wii.
That's crazy. I didn't know about that.
The Resident Evil game on it was dope because it come with like the little shotgun holder and
they also did the red and blue for Resident Evil and stuff like that on the Wii. They did a colour scheme gun like red and blue like it's in the arcade as well, little attachment things you can
see, and this is one of the perks of only being able to buy a like DVD version of a game, because then you actually get stuff with it. Now that everyone's downloading, you don't get free stuff with games
with like special edition stuff. You get nothing, and you're spending peas.
Does anyone still get physical copies?
I do prefer physical copies. I like having them there, having something physical for the
I've only recently switched to just digital.
Yeah.
I got the PS5 with the CD slot, and I've got like 3 games that are like DVDs, but most of them I download.
I just play my PS4 games on the PS5.
The thing is,
I've got loads of PS4 games.
If I spend money on a video game, I want to hold an actual tangible physical thing in my hand rather than it just be out there in the cloud.
And then when you get a map as well, on the other side of the like kind of book that you get.
Well, you used to. They don't give you nothing apart from the case in a game now. Like,
yeah, I remember opening Jaden's. I think it was Black Ops 2 actually, the Xbox game that I'm now looking at the back of his.
Does it have a map in it?
No, it doesn't have a map, but it had a like free
poster or
1 month season pass, something or other.
A few of them have got that in there.
Yeah,
I pulled out my. I think it was like Mad Max or Gears of War. We pulled out. Me and Dan pulled out Gears of War, and it had stuff for like skins. But I buy a lot more games CX.
I'm pretty sure GTA 5 came with a map, with a huge map.
Yeah.
But they all used to come with maps, and this was the thing. That was just the standard.
Same with DVDs. You would get something in it that gives you like an advertisement to something else coming out, or to the toys, or to whatnot, like
Star Wars DVDs. They come with the best stuff.
I like the DS ones.
Yeah,
little DS booklets you used to get. I thought they were cool.
See, I remember one of
cases,
my
they were lethal.
favourite
Felt like I was gonna
collectibles I
break the
got from a
cartridge.
game was Assassin's Creed Syndicate. You spent about 20 quid more, but it come with like a little pocket watch.
Oh yeah,
And that was so dope. I've still got it at home somewhere, you know. That's like the love and effort they used to put in behind
That's
thinking
what I'm
about
trying to
what
think.
we're going to do to sell this game even better, rather than, oh, do you know what? We're going to give you most of the game, but 5% of it's going to be locked, so you have to buy the rest, extra characters or something. That makes me sick.
Yeah, DLC became something completely different now. It's no longer downloadable content. It's just download 50% the rest of the blood clot game.
Only takes about 3 hours to download.
All right, take with my old Wi-Fi. Uncharted, 99 plus hours, and then it went down to, I don't know, 2.5 days, and then it finally downloaded.
And that's another thing with digital content that I really, really don't like.
Gotta be
Like when you
connected
download the game, you have to wait for it to download. Like if I pay for,
and sometimes you have to wait
to
to copy
now. Yeah, exactly.
The worst it download. You spent 4 days downloading it. Oh wait, but now it's got another 8 hours to copy to your hard drive.
And then it's got an update before you get to play it. You know?
Yeah, that's the one thing about like the new Call of Duties that made me fall out.
They're over 100 gig as well.
It's like Call of Duty's like 100+ gig game.
Yeah.
And then every time it updates, which is like every other second, I've got to wait about 1 billion years for it to update. So I just
GTA 6 is going to be traumatizing.
Oh, you lent me your Black Ops 6. I still haven't installed that just because of the download time.
Yeah.
I can't be bothered. So
Play
you can
it on
have it
my
back if you
PlayStation.
want.
Play it on my PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
I'll do that.
It's not as good as Cold War.
So I play Battlefront instead. That's why number 1 and then number 5. Talking of like COD being like a classic type of game as well, even though it's still it was very classic back in. It's still a classic. You know what I mean? Did any of you lot play Halo?
No.
Not a single Halo thing.
Nope. Well, the only time I played Halo is when I played it here. That was my first time.
Really? So a couple weeks ago we played Halo in my shed. We played a bit of Halo 3 1v1, and that was your first time playing it.
My introduction into Halo.
Well, you did very well. It's basic shooting mechanics, so it's just kind of getting you shoot.
I mean, I feel like it's such a transferable skill regardless of the shooting game, isn't it? As long like you play one and you in your head you kind of play them all.
Yeah. I think Reach was the one that I played the most.
I was gonna say, because you said you had 360. So.
I had a 360. Yeah, I played. I don't know. I didn't love them. I enjoyed them.
I will say, without Halo, obviously something else would have come out and made gaming what it is today. But without Halo, first-person shooters and online gaming would not be what it is today.
Yeah, no, it's definitely 100% worth mentioning. You know, because it is a great game.
It's a godfather of gaming.
Yeah, 100%. It's
like online multiplayer.
But yeah, Halo Reach. Sorry, Halo Reach. I played a little bit of, and I did enjoy it, but it was, I don't know, it was the multiplayer that kind of got to me a little bit.
Wait, got to you as in like you just can't be.
It was, I don't know. I mean, it was the same time that I was playing a lot of Call of Duties.
Yeah, they are completely different. Like playing
Halo multiplayer, I was nowhere near as good.
I think Reach was the first one where you could run. You would get a power pack and you can press LB and use that to run, or you get a jetpack. And then they've implemented running into it like normally. Right, cool. So you lot didn't play Halo.
I didn't grow up with an Xbox, so I just never, because it was such an exclusive.
Halo 2 and Halo 3 were the only ones I started to play, but I wasn't a huge fan. It's all about Gears of War for me.
With Halo 2, you start as Master Chief, and in the first game you've got the Covenant. They're the evil people. You think they're all bad. They're bad. You start in Halo 2 as Master Chief, the primary antagonist, and then in the next mission you go to the Arbiter, who is one of the bad guys, and you learn more about them, and it brings some depth. Like he turns into a good guy in the end, he has a redemption arc and all this, and they really help bring depth with that stuff, which was kind of like the first time video games doing that, bring you into the other side of the enemy and all that. So it did a lot. But Dan, you just brought up Gears of War. I actually wanted to say this when we were talking about like deluxe editions and stuff as well. One of the best deluxe like gaming editions I've ever seen. The Lancer. Yes. You can get a gold Lancer, which for people who don't know, in Gears of War, these are like big tank motherfucker type guys, like all built like The Rock, like John Cena and Batista, like natural type thing. And they carry these massive guns that
assault rifles with chainsaws on
that have a built-in chainsaw. You have a little bit that your hand slips into between the gun and the chainsaw, so you can stabilize it in your hand, and it just rings. Hold that down with right trigger or whatnot, and then press B to rev it, and you run up to the enemy, and you have a bloody chainsaw fight. Gory thing ever. If we're doing clips going in there.
It was the first game I ever played on Xbox 360. Yeah. So my mum and dad just bought me this for Christmas, this console, and it come with, I believe, Forza and Gears of War. And I put that on, and I just saw the horror on my mum and dad's face, like, oh, what have we done? You know, like...
You saying that reminded me. You know, I know exactly which Xbox pack you're talking about with that. I picked Halo 3, and was it Viva Pinata or what?
That was a big game as well. Big up Viva.
Yeah, that Gears is amazing. We're hopefully going to be getting a film soon, and even Batista did an advert for Gears 4 or 5, I think it was, where he was wearing the armor. Like, he would be a brilliant Marcus Phoenix. Yeah. Gears was sick. Me and Dan, we've played a bit of it online recently to get versus each other local play. We are going to go through the story. You two need to sit with us through that story, because Jesus, it's emotional. And it's like, you know, that new picture meme of like the horse where you got its arse, it's on fire, you got the middle bit, it's on fire, you got the face and all that, it's on fire, just showing like every sequel and all that, it's just is on fire. Gears, bro, that's a platinum horse. That thing's burning up there. Like,
the first three were so amazing. Like, after that, I think it started dwindling off, but that trilogy was some of the most amazing shoot 'em up games of that time, and by far.
It was aggressive. But talking of games like that as well, we've all played Doom, right?
Doom.
I do. I have the PlayStation remaster.
For Doom or Doom Internal as well?
I can't remember which one it is. It just says Doom.
Yeah, you got the one I've got over there. So it goes Doom, Doom Eternal. I think there was another Doom,
and there's a new one.
Yeah, Dark Ages, where you get to fly.
I haven't played that yet.
Oh no, it's out.
Is that the one where it's like you're in medieval times?
Medieval times,
like dragons.
Yeah, you get a dragon in it. I haven't really looked at too much about it because I haven't even finished Doom.
Nor have I. Doom Eternal is really hard. It's so fast paced. From the moment you go, it is just non-stop.
Have you ever
shooting.
seen the movie?
It's mad.
Any of you look?
Old school movie.
Yeah, with the Rock, right? I believe it. Yeah, I believe it's the Rock in the Doom movie. When he was
possibly, I can't remember off the top of my head.
I don't know. I haven't played it, I don't think, but I think I might.
You would love it. Like, generally, it's a very hardcore just shooter, and you just go around the gates of hell, having to, you know, stuff. Yeah, it's just very.
The love and effort they put into that. They had a full metal orchestra for the Doom Eternal. One of their main theme songs with a chainsaw. Like, the main instrument used is a chainsaw. BFG Doom Division. Big fucking gun Doom Division. Honestly, mad.
Made by the same people. Have you played Wolfenstein?
I have not. Yeah. I have a couple of them downloaded, but I haven't actually gotten into them.
I thought Wolfenstein was fun. I've only played one of them, which was the first remake that they made as well for the PlayStation.
Kind of reminds me of... sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that was my introduction to it, because I know there was the original one as well.
Sorry, interrupting here, but I want to say before I forget, going back to what Dan said a second ago about like the passion that the game makers put into games, I think something that deserves to be shouted out in the context of that is Uncharted, like the Uncharted series.
100%.
Because the storyline behind the Uncharted games is so good. You know, you play it for the story, not for... Like, the graphics are good as well, you know, and the parkour and the climbing and the shooting and the puzzle solving. It's all good.
You can play Crash Bandicoot in there as well.
Well, there we go. But yeah, I just think the story is so good for all of them, and it like links between each of the like kind of episodes that comes out. Great.
Yeah, it's like a different version of Tomb Raider, and Tomb Raider was fucking hard back in the day. Like,
but I can't really get into Uncharted. I've tried many times. I cannot deny the beautiful cinematography of it. It is great. So it doesn't sometimes.
And it's kind of before its time. I mean, by the time, I think I don't know, Drake's Deception was the one for me that was like a big kind of step up in the CGI and the graphics. But it's also when the story got heavy as well. You know, you got to keep going for a little bit. But by the time you get to the third and fourth, like...
Is it Uncharted 4 where you have that really long like chase scene where you're in a truck and all this, and you're going through like Brazil, going through the streets, going through like these mud tracks and all this? It's really, I think it's Uncharted 4, and it's with his brother.
Yeah,
and it's that.
Well, his brother's in a few of them, to be fair. But...
To be fair, the only one I played was the pirate ship one, which is the third one, I believe. 4. Oh, is that number 4? Well, there you go. Yeah. That was a beautiful game, honestly. But another one well worth a shout out, since you mentioned Doom, is Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem was brilliant. Like,
for people who don't know that game, you might know it from the poster. It's got a Arnold Schwarzenegger type of guy standing with like one knee up on like a mountain.
Just his one-liners is brilliant.
I don't know that game.
You might know the poster.
I reckon you would know the poster. That's been like used many a times. It also got
remastered onto 360, I believe.
What type of game was it?
First-person shooter, very much like Doom, but you played as someone who was pretty much Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, and like he just come out with one-liners. Like, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of gum. Dun, 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 dun. The soundtrack as well was brilliant.
That's They Live.
They Live.
Yeah,
They Live. I don't know what that is.
You never seen the film They Live? That's what that quote is from. It's with John. It's John Carpenter. You never seen
What's faster, Duke Nukem or They Live?
I have no idea. I haven't even heard of this
Duke
film.
Nukem's also a big thing as well, but I wouldn't be surprised.
It's quite old school though as well.
They Live was a
60s and 40s.
It was an 80s film about this dude, and he finds these pair of glasses and he puts them on, and it's like all advertising. It's kind of like I don't know, like propaganda.
Yeah, I think I've seen
like consume me. Do you know what I mean, or something like that. It was kind of.
Well, we're quite close to as well.
Yeah, it was definitely some social commentary, that's for sure. And it was also a sci-fi as well, because it included a bunch of aliens that had invaded. Spoiler alert, it's only about 70 billion years old. But yeah, it's actually one of my favourite films of all time. It's such a...
What was it called? They Live?
They Live, yeah.
That's something for us to check out, especially if it's one of your favourite films.
That's 1988 that film come out, and Duke Nukem was 1996, so they've definitely got that from there.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to say this, as I love talking about games, but we are going to do a deeper dive into more games, kind of go a bit more into it, or just anything random as well, or any games anyone wants to suggest to us, we'd love to hear them. But we do still have a few more on our list here, so I'm going to say a little bit of a speed round, because we just say a few names of the games here, yes, no, whether we've seen them, what we think of them real quick, move on, because there are so many games we can talk about. I really would love to do a deeper dive, because we've got Batman series here as well, and the Arkham series did a lot for gaming.
It'll take us a lot more than one episode to get through all the games we like.
But here, I want to hear GoldenEye 007 on the N64.
Again, one of the first shooters I probably banged out.
Never played it, but it's such a notorious soundtrack, and
you were playing some of that earlier.
As someone who's constantly trying to find new sounds, I've listened to that soundtrack.
So check out the soundtrack. You played it?
Was it on anything other than N64? Because I'm pretty certain I played it, but
it was on the PS2.
I think it got remastered.
It must have been on that then.
PSP as well.
Yeah, because I have played it. Not a lot. I haven't owned it.
It was like one of the first original multiplayer games where it didn't have online, but it had local play. So you can have 4 people on a screen, a split screen. You would control each go around.
Split screen.
It pretty much was having to go.
You could be Oddjob throwing his hat and everything. Is brilliant.
Alright, as well, Elder Scrolls or like the Demon Souls series. Any of you delved into them?
Talk about Elder Scrolls for days and Fallout,
which is getting a movie as well.
I don't know anything.
They're them games, the proper break your controller type games. Like you start a mission, you end up. Oh no, that's I'm thinking Elden Ring.
You're talking about Dead Souls,
Dark Souls, Elden Ring. Yeah, okay. Well, them type of games, they're proper smash your controller type games. You start that mission.
You've got 3 doors in front of you. You go through the wrong door and you're just fall to your death. You've got to start back. It's mad.
Squid Games movement
type of games. But okay, I was wrong. Yeah, you got Elder Scrolls, which is like Oblivion,
Skyrim, first one, Arena
as well. Any of you guys delved into any of them?
It's not really my kind of game. I'm a lot more like, I don't know, FPS games, driving games, multiplayer games, and the times that I do delve into more like, I don't know, complicated and long-winded games was kind of Assassin's Creed for me.
Oh, which one did you start with?
I don't even know. I have it was on my 360. I've got all the discs in
what they look like.
Somewhere. I've got loads of them, bro. I can't remember which one I started with because I played a lot of them.
It's gonna be.
I couldn't say I've completed a lot of them because I've got quite a short attention span, but I've definitely played a lot of them.
I know you started at number 3 or number 4. Just by knowing you, I know it's them ones.
What are the names of them? Do you remember?
So you got Assassin's Creed 1, you got Assassin's Creed 2, and then you got Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
I think it was Brotherhood.
Which then goes
fair,
into Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Yes.
Then that goes into Assassin's Creed 3, and then it goes into Assassin's Creed 4, and then it goes into
Black Flag, isn't it?
Odyssey.
That's number 4.
Isn't it?
Then
Odyssey,
it goes into
then
Odyssey,
Black
and then
Flag.
Syndicate. No.
Odyssey, Syndicate, Black Flag, and then Valhalla.
Black Flag's number 4. Black Flag's number 4 with
And then you got Valhalla, isn't that a new one?
No, there's another new one, I believe.
The newer one
Is there a newer one?
The newer one is the samurai one. Where
There was also one where you was in Victorian England as well.
Syndicate, that was.
Syndicate, yeah.
Bro, there's a lot of Assassin's Creed games.
Assassin's Creed games.
And a movie as well. Have you seen the movie?
Yeah.
Well,
Michael Fassbender,
when it came to parkour games, I was more of a Mirror's Edge person.
Bro, pulled out
Mirror's Edge.
Yeah, I pulled out my Xbox games. Dan saw Mirror's Edge. I was like, ugh. No, Mirror's Edge slapped. Number one especially.
Yeah.
Right. Also, okay. Sonic and Sega.
Been playing them for years.
We all know about.
bro.
Everyone knows about Sonic, right? We're not going to go too much into that, but everyone's opinion, Sonic, classic games. You can't really go wrong.
It's one of the staples, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's just one of the
100%.
staples.
Can you?
Golden age.
It's one of my
games,
favorite buildings
like.
when you're driving in between like these ends and Brentford and Chiswick and all that. You have the Sega building, and they used to have the massive Sonic face.
Yeah.
Love
Good soundtrack as well.
Amazing soundtrack. Plus the Shadow game, which is the black and red version of Sonic. The soundtrack in that his PS2 game, where he had guns and a motorbike. Shadow the Edge Lord, people call him because he's bare edgy. Like that soundtrack was just metal and amazing. Castlevania. Any opinions on
awesome
Castlevania?
game.
Haven't played it, I'm
I've got a
afraid.
few animes out. I've played a couple of them. Not properly. Like
Ridiculously hard. Ridiculously hard games.
Beautiful animes and stuff. We will actually maybe have a look more into that and see where I go on with it. I can't believe this. We never said about Mortal Kombat and Tekken.
We
I was holding off a bit.
in the arcade bit, but I feel like that deserves its own episode. I don't even play
We got a new Mortal Kombat movie coming out, so we will definitely talk about the games, the movies in a segment video.
Yeah, because I probably watched the Mortal Kombat movie before I played Mortal Kombat, which is gonna depress people. But I
Very
never,
much so.
never
The
played
new
all of
Mortal
them.
Kombat movie or the old
The
one?
first one.
Okay, that's fair. That's where the theme song comes
He's
from.
not talking about the old 90s versions. He's
You're
talking
talking about the one that came out in
the
like
new
2020, 2019.
I have no idea. Yeah, the recent,
Absolutely.
the recent one. Yeah, I'm afraid because I just didn't play games like that. Like
It's out my
unless I was in an
shit.
arcade. But then you two are kind of obsessed with them. So I
And
got
then
into it a little
films, the
bit.
original ones are before
Which
his time.
Jaden, that's why you should be ashamed when I beat you at Tekken, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Granted, you pick Eddie, and yeah, you do a good job. But also, that was
Sorry, was that 3-0? Was that 3-0? Oh,
Alright, calm.
sorry.
We're whacking that on after this. Easy. Alright, I'm going to put these two games together. Hitman and Manhunt. But we're going to start off with Manhunt because there was a lot of controversy with this game when it first came out. It
got banned everywhere,
in the UK, US, loads of places because people were mimicking... I hate talking about stuff like this at times when people take media and then imitate that. But people were going into pubs and imitating some of the brutal ways that you can attack people.
One of many, and it was
One of many.
a proper like shocker
That's
game.
something
Like, it was
when
mad,
we go
like-
into fighting games, we need to talk about that because there's a lot of stuff with Mortal Kombat influencing the young generation. It was always on the news because of like fatalities and stuff like this.
Fatalities are mad. I'm just going to put it out there.
The ones that they got these day and age is
Beastalities and all
mental.
them.
Hitman though.
Yeah,
Sorry to
Hitman.
interrupt you, Jaden, but Hitman I played. I enjoyed
Please
Hitman.
take it
I'm
away.
not gonna
I want to hear more about
Well,
Hitman. It's got some movies as
I don't
well.
know. I feel like Hitman
Agent
2,
47. I
Agent
believe it is.
47, yeah, with a little barcode on his neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought they were a really good combination of like kind of spy and kind of undercover stuff. It was fun. It was almost as fun when you had to sneak around places and like kind of
I
stay
just
undercover.
always prefer that pacing of games.
I find it a bit too slow, stealthy games.
I'm such
Me
a,
too.
especially with like Ghost of Tsushima. I'm always
yeah.
just sneaking around.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, but that's also that game's
and all of the
jarring
takedowns you can do
sometimes.
when you're sneaking as well, bro.
just any game. Like, I love the challenge of not trying to be caught. Well, that was a big thing in Manhunt as well, right? You kind of had to like be in the shadows. And you
And Uncharted as well. There was quite a bit of like trying to avoid detection.
I'm very much like a mace, like a blunt force. I'll just run in
running
there and
in,
try and
yeah.
fight everyone at the same
Even in
time
The
rather
Last
than
of
sneak
Us.
around. Like,
Sure,
running in with the
to be
fists.
fair, one we haven't mentioned, Assassin's Creed. I know we said it a second ago, but in terms of sneaking, bro, you can't. There are some places you cannot just charge into.
The first two
On
games,
Assassin's
better
Creed is
believe,
mad.
once they allowed you to be able to go in there without having to like be stealthy, that's all I did. Like, literally just running in. Yeah.
as well. I just want to say as well with Hitman, for some people of our audience that don't know what Hitman is, it's a bold guy, white shirt, black blazer, red tie. You would definitely know the theme song because there's that TikTok trend going around where it's someone, I don't know, pretending to be blind or whatnot and putting something in someone, like poison in someone's drink and then pretending to assassinate them, and they've got that theme song. Hopefully that'll be playing in
Like
the
a healthy
background
TikTok
bit.
trend to me.
But yeah, it's a really big, that song's become maybe a bit bigger than the game due to TikTok. Alright, last one before we wrap up. It's a bit of an umbrella because there's so many games in it, but we will get more into that after. Lego games.
I love that you mentioned that, Jaden.
Tate's
I love
going to
that you
take it
mentioned
away
that.
from here with that one then.
It started for me on the Wii, on Nintendo Wii, and
Is it? I don't even remember Lego games on the Wii. I can't lie.
I can't even remember which it was. It was almost certainly one of the original like Star Wars Skywalker Saga ones.
Yeah.
Where you like started in Dexter's Diner and you had to like run through.
You get
and,
the episodes that you want to go into.
each of the different doors was a different episode. It was they're incredible games.
Start off as like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan from episode 1.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, they're great, and I just love how they have cutscenes from the movies. It's the same with the Indiana Jones Lego game. It's the same with the Batman one. It's the same with kind of all of them.
Even Harry Potter, they got Indiana Jones, Harry Potter, Pirates of the Caribbean.
They were on everything, didn't it? They were on every
and they take cutscenes from the movies
Jurassic
and then like change the scripting to make it easily entertainable for any age. I still play Lego games.
They're the type of games which you can actually play without any volume on. You can still understand what's going on and just play in the background. So very good watching games, and even just very good games to play with people. And talking of, you got something you want to say about Lego games?
I do.
Take it away.
I've got a hot take for Lego games. I just don't get the hype around them.
Nor do I really.
I'm with you on that.
I just they're boring for me.
No, I'm with you on that.
The only thing I do like is trying to find
mini kits.
It's the
Little white
trying to find the little like
cylinder type thing.
the little blocks.
Oh yeah, just going round and round and building up
And you
your
have to, like,
stat thing at the top and all that.
No, but say for example, in the
if you earn
Skywalker Saga,
the red cubes.
I think not Kyber crystal was the
Kyber cubes.
Yeah,
the blue the see-through type of cube.
Yeah. I enjoyed that.
Get that if you just earn enough studs throughout.
Yeah,
the
that's
thing,
what you need.
But there was also puzzles as well in it that I did enjoy. But apart from that, like I know the story of Star Wars quite well at this point. I just didn't get the hype.
Try out some of the other ones; they're really good. Like DC Lego Villains, which just takes all the DC villains. It's such a good game, and it's so stupid. I can't even lie. One of the best superhero films out there, or like Batman films out there, is Lego Batman. One, because they get to do loads of Batman tropes, and two, they use so much stuff from Lego, and it's all filmed with Lego
also,
as well.
the OG, sorry to interrupt you again, Jaden, but the OG Lego Batman was actually one of the best like games to play. I just loved it so much.
One of the only ones I actually played. That's one of the only ones I actually played for a bit. But apart from that, I just never.
That was good. And Indiana Jones. I played a lot of the Lego Indiana Jones games.
That's something we will take a deeper dive into as well, because Lego has influenced a lot, and like collectors have rinsed that prices into the roof.
Yeah.
But we will get into that. I also want to do a bit more of a deep dive into just some of the classic games as well that have kind of paved the way for where gaming is now. But on that note, we're going to wrap it up here. And thank you for everyone that's tuned in to our, I believe it's our 4th episode.
It is. Episode 4.
If you made it this far, we're eternally grateful. If you haven't and you made it 10 minutes in, you won't be listening to this part. But still, we love you. Please like, share, and just put it out there. Just thank you again.
Tell the world how awesome we are, please.
Thank you all. And as always,
safe.